Seattle Seahawks news alert here on this Wednesday afternoon. Mike Macdonald, the Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator, will be getting a second interview with John Schneider and the Seattle Seahawks today as he will visit Seattle for the very first time. Welcome into this edition of Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here with you as we react to this breaking news. Tom Pelissero giving the update this morning, saying the following: the Seahawks are bringing in Ravens defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald today for a second interview for their head coaching job per sources. Seattle met with Macdonald 36 on Tuesday in Baltimore. Now he's going through the expanded process they did with other candidates. Now, the timing of all this is the story here. Second interview in a 24-hour stretch. That's a big deal, and it tells me two different things. One, it tells me they are trying to move pretty quickly to kind of jump the line ahead of the Washington Commanders, because the Washington Commanders are also looking at Mike Macdonald, final two job openings that are available at this point in time. And two, that tells me they really like Mike Macdonald, that momentum is shifting, that things are headed this direction. We told you on yesterday's second video that Jordan Schultz, Bleacher Report NFL insider, was saying that based on his sources and the people that he had talked to, that Mike Macdonald was now the favorite to become the next head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. And we very well could be back here later today talking about the Seahawks not letting Mike Macdonald leave the building without a contract. I wouldn't be shocked at all if we circle back here later on and Mike Macdonald officially is the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks based on the way things are going at this point. So let's hear from you. Do you want Mike Macdonald to be the next head coach of the Seattle Seahawks? If you do, like the video. If not, comment and tell me why you don't want him to be the next head coach of your Seattle Seahawks. Smitty wants at least 500 likes on today's video. This is Smitty's guy. Like the video if you want Mike Macdonald, if you want old McDonald to have a little Seahawk family. Like the video, and we'll certainly appreciate it. Now, when the Seahawks do hire a head coach, whether it's today or tomorrow, we will go live on the channel, and we will react to it. Personally, I hope it's within the next couple days, because I'm supposed to go to Oklahoma on Friday. So, John, wrap it up. Let's get this done with. Subscribe now for the latest happenings in your favorite team, from the coaching search to trade rumors to free agency. We got it all right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. Now, it's down to two candidates. We talked about this last night. We feel like this is down to Mike Macdonald and Dan Quinn at this point. And I get it. Both are defensive guys. Both are defensive coordinators, obviously. But they come from two completely different worlds. If you go with Dan Quinn, that's kind of the safe hire, right? You know what you're getting when it comes to Dan Quinn, how familiar he is with the Seahawks organization, head coaching experience, and all that. Mike Macdonald is more of a wild card, right? The young, 36, up-and-coming coach that still has something to prove in the National Football League. It's a gamble, and I like the gamble, personally. I like the idea of taking a chance on a younger coach. He hasn't been coaching that long, but think about what we saw from the Baltimore Ravens in 2023. This defense was spectacular, and I recall last season, the Ravens defense had a bad game against the Miami Dolphins where they blew a big lead, and Rex Ryan goes on Get Up the next day on TV and just completely eviscerated Mike Macdonald. And, you know, called him a couple names, whatever, and to me it was almost a sign like, hey, if Rex Ryan doesn't like this guy, there's actually probably something right about Mike Macdonald. And since then, we've seen the Ravens defense just go to a whole nother level, and we saw this team throughout the season with the players that they had really play inspired football. The way that this group developed, I mean, from guys like Patrick Queen to Roquan Smith, Justin Matabuke, and others, that goes back to the play caller in Mike Macdonald doing an incredible job. He's got the endorsement of his head coach there in Baltimore, that being John Harbaugh. Harbaugh said this a while back about Mike Macdonald. I thought he's been great since the first day he got here. He was very clear in terms of what we're trying to accomplish with our defense, in terms of building a certain vision, a certain scheme set in our structure, and teaching the guys and training the guys how to do it. If the Seahawks ultimately hire a Mike Macdonald, this could be refreshing, right? bring new life into the Seahawks team and organization. One of the things you'll notice right away when you look at Mike Macdonald is the energy that he brings. It's contagious. It reminds me in a sense of Pete Carroll. One of the things that we always talked about with Pete Carroll was the positive energy that he brought to the table, how much younger he seemed than his actual age. Mike Macdonald, in a sense, brings that to the table. I mean, he's the life of the party of sorts, if you will. And to me, I think that's a big deal. A Seahawks team that has talked a lot about culture, that wants that positive reinforcement environment. Mike Macdonald certainly suits that of what Seattle's looking for in that sense. Who will be the next Seattle Seahawks head coach? Not who you want to get the job, but who you think is going to get the job. Is it Mike Macdonald? Is it Dan Quinn, or is it somebody else? Wait in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You pick 2 or more players in any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, passing yards, receiving yards. Maybe you want to mix and match a little NFL, NBA, NHL, and more. I'm looking ahead to the big game, and this one I feel pretty confident about, if I'm going to be honest. Patrick Mahomes to have more than half a passing yard. As long as he doesn't pull an Aaron Rodgers, I think we're pretty good. Also, Isaiah Pacheco to have more than half a rushing or receiving touchdown. And then Christian McCaffrey to have more than 35.5 receiving yards. If we put $20 down, all 3 of these hit, we're making $100 in Prize Picks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match. Now, not just the energy that Mike Macdonald brings to the table that's so intriguing, contagious, and all that, but the guy knows ball. He in particular understands concepts and really just, I mean, you talk about somebody that really expands knowledge and makes everyone around him better. That's what Mike Macdonald is. And I was reading just today, actually, a story about one of Mike Macdonald's first coaching jobs. It was with a high school team. And on this high school team, they had a very limited playbook. And Mike Macdonald was just fresh out of college and everything and just trying to get into coaching. And Macdonald goes in there and totally just blew up the playbook, expanding things well beyond these high school kids had ever even seen before. And every one of those coaches were in awe and said, that guy is going to be a head coach someday, just based on the knowledge he brought in and how much further along he brought this high school program that he was a part of. Mark Richt also worked with Mike Macdonald at a very early age. Mike Macdonald was a grad assistant under Mark Richt at the University of Georgia. Mark Richt had this to say about Mike Macdonald. He has showed a good work ethic and was a sharp guy. When the graduate assistant came open after he graduated, he got it. He just did a great job in every opportunity he got. For him to take the path that he's taken, really, it's pretty special. But it happened because he was a worker. It happened because he was a smart guy, and he was adding value to the program. The theme that you're seeing a lot of people talk about with Mike Macdonald is that he is the Sean McVay of defense, a brilliant football mind that has all these different scheme ideas and is very young, and that we're going to see other coaches want to be like him. That Seattle could be finding the guy that everyone else in the future says, I want my coach to be like that guy. And at 36 years old, the coaching tree that he's worked under is pretty impressive. We know about John Harbaugh, obviously, the Baltimore Ravens head coach, and he's won a Super Bowl and everything, but also working for John's brother Jim at the University of Michigan for a year. Jim most recently took the LA Chargers head coaching job, but then working under Mark Richt as well. And for college, for people that might not be familiar with Mark Richt was a very good college coach. He was there before Kirby Smart at Georgia, consistently won 10 games every year, finished his career at Miami. So the work for those three in just a short amount of time, that tells me how much respect this guy has earned at a short amount of time, that he is trusted the way that he is. I like everything I've read about Mike Macdonald, and I would love the idea of him coming to Seattle. We'll see if it happens. If you enjoyed today's show, like the video if you want Mike Macdonald be the next Seahawks head coach. Keep us locked in here on Seahawks Today. We're all over this coaching search as we've been since the very beginning. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.